Well. Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Hardline Transport Solutions Rebel Truck Series here on V-Speed Racing Network. I'm your host, Eddie Smith, and I got a special guest with me tonight, Bradley Cooper, in the booth doing a little bit of color, helping me along as I try to transition through this little software. But, man, we got a great race tonight. Bradley, how we feeling tonight, brother?
Pretty good. We're here at New Hampshire Motor Speedway, as I like to call it, the larger Martinsville, and with the different transitions here on this racetrack, it looks like qualifying underway. Some of these guys I'm familiar with out here on the racetrack. I'm excited to see what they got in store for us.
Yeah, trucks at New Hampshire is always a fun one, I think, because it's just so different. Trucks usually a drafty type race where guys are all over each other the whole time at these 1.5 milers. Short tracks are really fun, but New Hampshire, a flat track that really offers, I think, was pretty good racing. And just different. I think that's sort of the big key here as we'll take a look at your track facts here at New Hampshire. 1 miler, a little bit over a mile, but you'll see there the banking a little bit different, 2 to 7 degrees depending on what part of the track. You'll see these guys sort of work that third lane all night long up in that second groove. But we have seen some guys go down to the apron, so it is definitely possible to move around this track and find some speed. Will we see anybody go down the apron tonight? I'm not sure, but I have seen it done, and I know you can make up some speed, so we'll see if anybody tries it here tonight.
Yeah, mastering the apron of this racetrack can make up a lot of time. We've seen a lot of people win just based off of that ability. And the transition, again, out of pit road, if you can learn to drive that exit of pit road at speed, you can find yourself up in the front. Right now, with qualifying, it looks like Cody, and you said this name,
Cody Bame.
Bame. Got it. And yeah, I ruin it. I butcher names for a living. So he's starting right now on the pole with about a minute 2 left in qualifying.
Yeah, and we'll take a look here at your webcams. Got a whole bunch of them here tonight. We got Chuck Phelps up there in the top. In the very middle, got Mickey Isaac. We got Kyle Roberts, Tyler Rice, Aaron Adcock, Brandon Wallace, and Charles Stephen Jr. Who is that up in the top right? I don't even know. We'll take a look at it real quick, see what the name says. I don't even know. Oh, that's Alan Nash. Oh, that'd be one to watch. Getting that P break in here early. All right, we're going to jump over here as qualifying just about over. Still got a few folks on the track, and we'll see where the qualifying is sitting right now. Cody Bame, like you said, on top with Garrett Kinder, another one to watch tonight. And I'll tell you, Bradley, I know he probably gets embarrassed when I talk about him, but, man, that 13 truck, you got to watch out for him. He is one of the most fun drivers I've ever seen on a racetrack. He knows how to have a good time, and he'll be hanging it out going around this track for sure. And I think that's what you're going to need to do tonight to win this race. Like, you got to be aggressive. You can't really save tire. It'll make it really tough. So I think you got to be real aggressive trying to move yourself through the field, especially if you don't qualify well. Speaking of qualifying, though, let's jump right into the grid. I don't know if this is good grid music or not. I don't know, but hey, we're gonna give it a go here tonight. Cody Bame gonna be your Chuck Pegleg Pole Award winner, so congratulations to him coming out of nowhere, just laying down a monster time. Garrett Kinder gonna be outside the front row. Starting in third, it's gonna be Lucas Lyon, Alan Nash in the 4th spot, Jonathan Cofield in 5th, Josh Lokovitz in 6th, 7th going to be Andy Kurtz and Michael Kosick there in the 8th position. That's your points leader. Aaron Adcock, who's sitting 3rd in points, going to be right behind him with Brent Beaver rounding out the top 10. 11th going to be Tracy Passons, Brandon Wallace in the 12th position, Charles Stevens in 13th, Tyler Rice in 14th. 15th is going to be Stephon Davis, Kyle Roberts in 16th. 17th going to be Travis Beaver, Chuck Phelps in the 18th spot. 19th is going to be Mickey Isaac, Jeremiah Holt in the 20th position. 21st is going to be Alex Feith with Tommy Osborne in 22nd. 23rd, Kenneth Pack, Greg Barnett in the 24th spot. 25th, Matt Clement and Curtis Sobrin in 26th. And then your final row, Mike Veith and Gary Wright. A little bit of cloudy deal here. As a pretty good overcast. I think that should cool down the track. And look at that, Bradley, 77 degrees. My goodness.
That's a cool surface, but this place lacks grip, especially with the flat surface. It's going to be hard to get that power to connect to the asphalt as lights are out on the pace truck, and we get set to go green here for 77 degrees or on the race temp.
Yeah, absolutely. Cody Bain going to lead us down. Green flag in the air. 100 laps here tonight at New Hampshire.
By the lead lap number 1, it's Cody Bain, and we saw some 3 wide there a little bit at the start going into turn 1, and they're peaking it again. The different lines for the 13, you called it. He likes to hang it all out there. He was peaking on the outside of Lucas Lyons in second.
Yeah, Lucas got a really, really good jump there and was able to get ahead of that 13 machine as they're battling. Lucas actually going to go up here and maybe try to take over the lead here early. I think that's important. I think track position going to be probably always Lucas, though, gets a little bit loose. That allows Garrett Kinder to get down to the inside. But I think track position going to be the big name of the game here tonight, as it's going to be difficult to pass and do it late. I think early you want to get it done, but so far so good. Everybody kind of spread out all over the place, but got a battle for second as Garrett trying to make that inside work. But Lucas doing a great job on the outside.
Yeah, Kinder just can't complete the pass there on the backstretch. Not able to get, he's going to stay at the door, but that outside gets such a run. Very momentum based. If you can hang that outside line, they will use up the tires though, so Lyon's going to have to be careful. Cody Bam loving what he sees in his mirror right now though with second place. If those guys use up their stuff, he could pull out to a decent lead.
Yeah, Cody, no stranger to the front, and it seems like these tracks, I would think this is the perfect track for Cody. He loves short tracks. A lot of the Velocity Motorsports guys love them, but I think Cody's going to be really good here tonight. He's showing it here early in the race as he is scooting out to about a 0.3 of a second lead, but Lucas Lyon able to hold on to that second spot. Fought pretty hard for that. And is doing a good job. While we got a little bit of time, let's talk a little bit about the points. We've only got 2 races left to the playoffs. That 10th spot going to be a big deal. Only going to be 10 people making it into the next round. So you see Michael Kostick up front. Jonathan Cofield down in the 10th spot, so he is just in that deal. And Stephon Davis just 5 points out. Chuck Felt's going to be right behind him. So still a lot that can happen here in the points, but just 2 races to get it done. So some of those guys need to have really good races. Jonathan Cofield is right there on the cutoff. He is in 4th, and he is looking pretty good, already up a spot, passing pretty difficult. So the fact that he has made up a spot here early is a good sign. He's moving forward. That's where you want to go.
Top 10 pretty much settles out, and I was looking back here with Andy Kurtz and Aaron Adcock. Those guys were running side by side for a moment, but now it's settled down. You can see him still peaking, but the 53, that was Tracy Passons. He had a really great practice time. He was up on top of the board for quite a while. I'm surprised he started as far back as he did.
Yeah, Tracy has been, I got to say, you hear the shifting that's going on right there. But yeah, Tracy has been just, a huge improvement over the last probably year or so. Has really improved overall. He's always kind of been a little bit fast and had some qualifying speed, but here lately he has really found some awesome race pace, some good racecraft, and he has been able to be in contention to win some races as Josh Lokovitz has to check up just a little bit to not get in the back bumper of him. But you're starting to see the track take its toll on these drivers where they're really struggling to find grip off the corner, which they should have plenty at 77 degrees, but you see largely single file as everybody is kind of following the leader at this point right through the middle of the track.
You can see the speed is tamed down tremendously already, falling off about 0.5 of a second for some drivers, and some side-by-side back here. This is in the 20th position. I just saw a 3 wide battle from Feltz or Kenneth Pack Alex Veith. These guys were right on top of each other and almost some problems for Veith as he came out of turn 2. I know this is a little deep in the pack, but these guys were running pretty hard, almost 3 wide.
Well, I got to tell you, man, a lot of times the back of the pack drivers, they're kind of like roadblocks, but not in this series. It is not like that at all. It is tough all the way back here. It feels a lot like real NASCAR where these guys are fighting like hell every single lap to try to get up through the field. And these guys just as competitive as we got a car around.
That's the 0-1 of Mickey Isaac. He's going to bring out the first caution.
Yeah, caution comes out. Mickey Isaac goes around. And that's not what you want to see here early.
Thinking back on the instant replay, it looked like he just got loose, or I don't think he had any help. He just got loose. Doesn't look happy, I can tell you that.
Yeah, for sure. And we'll take a look at the replay. My replay computer's all jacked up at the moment. We'll see if we can't get a replay back to what happened real quick. Oh, man.
He does get some help. He got a lot of help there.
Well, he was actually... Oh, yeah, I see right here. He's going to get some help from Kyle Roberts. You're right. Again, looking at a replay here is... Goes down to the corner. Man, Kyle Roberts just sails it off in there in the 0-1. Just going to go around. Tries to hang on to it. Does. Then gets run over again as he's trying to save it. He did a great job of saving it. And then goes up into the wall. So
he had that truck back under him. It just lost so much speed. The guys behind him didn't really have anywhere to go.
He'll have to go down and get a fast repair unless he wants to go down and just try to get some damage fixed. It might be not a bad idea. Just to assess the situations. Pretty good hits there.
A few takers on pit road. You got the 27 of Alan Nash. It looks like several other drivers come down, and this could be a strategy. I mean, we're 13 laps into this thing. Extend your fuel run a little bit. Why not?
Yeah, I think that's what we'll see. Alan Nash, Stephon Davis, Brandon Wallace have come down and gotten 4 tires, but everybody else, Travis Bieber, comes down and gets just fuel only. So we'll take a look at your race analysis while we're under caution, and you'll see Figs set up 100 laps, and then the total sets of tires 4, so they have 3 extra. So Alan Nash, Stephon Davis, Brandon Wallace electing to take their second set, which we still have 87 laps to go. It seems pretty early to do that, but, I mean, who knows? That's why we're up here in the booth, I guess.
Just had a little guy come over and ask me what I was doing, and I said, I'm watching trucks here at New Hampshire.
Heck yeah.
Appreciate everybody joining in. V-Speed Racing Network. Coming up on its first full year. I think it's been, a solid 6-7 months now.
Yeah, it's been a great partnership. It's been a lot of fun. I mean, but oddly enough, this is the first time that we've ever broadcasted together, which is I'm surprised by. But yeah, it's the first
new
time.
Territory.
Yeah, I know. Don't know what to do with my hands, but it's great to have you here tonight. Appreciate you coming in and trying to help me out while I try to fumble around with this new software and try to get used to it. Definitely appreciate that. But getting ready to go green here on lap 14, coming to lap 15. Cody Bame is your leader with Lucas Lyons there in second. Nobody up in the top 10 came down pit road as far as I could tell other than Alan Nash. So we'll see if that makes a difference, if he's able to move up through the field.
A good start there for Cody Bam. He pulls out about 0.4 of a second and more of the same with Lucas Lyons and Garrett Kinder side by side. A little contact there on the backstretch.
Yeah, that's that Garrett Kinder that I know and love, which is drive in there and lean on a fella and see if you can get that position. Right now, he's trying to make that pass, but it is so difficult to make that bottom side work. It seems like you want to get up to the high side if possible. Oh, he might make a little contact here as they go down to the corner. Try to move him up out of the way a little bit.
Lions pinching him down on the entrance, and they almost touch again down the backstretch, and I thought for sure one of them was going to go around. Here it is again on the inside. That front and into that truck decides to step out, and they are going to make contact as hard as the 25 is pinching him down.
Yeah, it's pretty early for this, but we've already seen, kind of a broken record at this point that passing going to be at a premium. So on a restart, when the tires are the coldest, it's a great time to get up there and kind of try to make a pass on somebody if you can, because we've seen it be really tough. There is some people that aren't having trouble, and that's Kenneth Pack back in the 13th position. He sees up 10 spots where he started. So that's 16 Prisma Health Chevrolet is really, really moving. No surprise, he always seems to find his way up towards the front. You just wonder if he doesn't qualify just a little bit better each week, he might be running up front, more often. But he always seems to have to do this right here, where he tries to drive up through the field along with Stephon Davis, who usually finds his way up towards the front as well. So, but Bradley, starting up front is easy. If you're fast, you start in the back. You've got to drive up through the field, and it is a lot of potential for trouble.
Yeah, starting up front can be easy. It's keeping it there, though, that sometimes is the problem. And then you have drivers that maybe don't qualify as well, but are able to run in a long run. You can see some too wide action just behind this Kenneth Pack. It was, I think, the 19. They're 3 wide here, coming off a 2 in contact. The 60's around.
So Stephon Davis, somebody we just talked about, is now takes that 60 Budweiser truck, and looks like he was able to avoid any kind of damage. But I mean, we were, I was trying to get the, picture-in-picture pulled up. I can't find it here on my list, but yeah, it looks like a little bit of contact may have happened or just spun around himself. Let's go take a look at it on the replay. Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. You'll see that red and white truck right here.
Yeah, there was a mistake made by, I believe, the 19. I'm not entirely sure. That black one up on the outside. And then they end up 3 wide from the checkup.
Oh, wow, yeah.
Davis just gets the bad end of that one.
Check this onboard shot and just see exactly. It kind of just drifted up into the 27. It's honestly what it looked like.
Minimal damage. He loses about 7-8 positions on that. But you can see they were sending it in there pretty hard. I don't know who that is up on the outside.
It's a 32 of Jeremiah Holt, I believe. Oh yeah, I just don't think Stephon Davis either knew how the car would or truck would handle when they were 3 wide, or exactly what to expect here. As you see, Alan Nash, he was on those 4 tires, trying to make it work, make it at 3 wide. Now, I just don't. I think Stephon knew that he was 3 wide, just did not know how the truck would handle trying to come off the bottom like that. So.
The 3 wide at New Hampshire, it never really works. I mean, you occasionally see it, but it typically doesn't work itself out. Stephon Davis gonna lose some positions, but now we got some more takers down pit road, it looks like.
Yeah, all but the top 6 come down pit road. Yeah, Cody Bame, Garrett Kinder, Tracy Passons, Charles Stevens, they stay out, but Lucas Lyon, your second place runner, comes down pit road. Jonathan Cofield, Andy Kurtz, Matt Clement comes down and takes, I think, fuel only this time. Michael Kostick comes down. So everybody except for those top 6 have come down and gotten some tires. So I don't know. It seems like a good as time as any to come down and get tires if you feel like you're going to try to take all of them. But, it just really hasn't felt like there's been a whole lot of laps on these tires to really hurt them. The guys up front, 22 laps on theirs, have yet to come down pit road. But at the same time, if you wait too long, you may get to a point where there's not, you'll have a set or 2 in the pits, but just, you go all the way to the back, you're not going to make it back from 28th all the way up to the front on a new set of tires here. It's not going to happen. So if you wait too long to take those sets, I think it could be detrimental more than helpful.
Yeah, traffic here and track position, it's just so important. As you saw, some of the drivers making the decision to stay out again. Your leader, the 78 of Cody Bame, going to take him into the turn 1 for the 3rd time here today. Green flag is out. We're back live at New Hampshire.
Another great jump for Cody and Garrett this time going to maybe have a little bit of breathing room without Lucas there. He's going to have to fight off a hard-charging Tracy Passons, but interested to see how these tires are going to operate. Brandon Wallace, gets into the wall there. I don't know who that was. I think it was Gary Wright.
He's 21,
Yeah, stacking up the field there on those old tires. You know, that's always a big thing about the guys staying out, but look at the cluster, you know what, behind him is we're almost 3 wide. That's Jonathan Cofield, Andy Kurtz in the middle of Brandon Wallace.
3 wide down the front stretch.
And they're going to continue to be 3 wide as nobody is lifting. Nobody is trying to let them go. Brandon Wallace trying to make that top side work, but my God. These guys racing like it's the last lap trying to make those new tires mean something.
Yeah, the position's just so important. Get them while you can. Down on the inside is the 25 of Lucas Lyons, who was up in the top 5 there a moment ago. Looks like we got a truck kind of blinking through, and some more 3 wide, and the 5's going around in the front stretch.
Andy Kurtz goes around as it looks like Alex Veith was trying to. I can't click him. Oh man, we got more trucks involved. It's like the 114 of Travis Bieber involved and others.
54 was involved in that as well.
Yeah, it's
the nose entirely off.
I don't know if it started with the 51, but Alex Veith really said, "I'm out of here." He was like, I don't whatever." Is about to, I think that was the one you were talking about blinking out, and I think you're absolutely right. I think he did. I'm checking the replay right now, and I actually show y'all what I'm looking at on the Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewind. It's going to be a little odd to watch, but you're going to see Alex Veith blink out. Screen's going to go completely black. He's going to go away and then come back, and you'll see he's right inside of another truck. I mean, if you got kids, cover their eyes. It's Stephon Davis. And that's where it all kind of started, and I think if you look – I think this may be one of those moments where I just don't know if Gary Wright understood what was going on because Andy Kurtz going to see the Alex Veith kind of come back in and go up just to try to dodge him. Goes up and hits him, and Gary Wright says, "Hey, I don't appreciate that." It just sends him around. And then Curtis Sobering comes in there. You see Aaron Adcock, Travis Bieber wrecking up to the outside wall, and so,
that was Curtis Sobern, I think is how you pronounce that name. Sorry if I butchered that. He took the whole nose off that machine, hit the door of the 5 down the front stretch, and this is kind of similar to Dover on this front straightaway where there's not really anywhere to go. Once trucks start to domino, you almost have to come to a stop to not get damage.
Yeah. Yeah, just right there. It was just, I don't know. It was just a weird sequence of events. Andy Kurtz is trying to avoid what was likely to be a bad situation. I mean, when he popped up, I mean, when Alex Veith came back, I mean, the 5 could see that he was inside of the 60 truck and knew that Calamity was coming, so he just kind of drifted up and got into Curtis. And I just don't know if Curtis knew what was going on there and understood why that contact happened, because he definitely came back down the track and just kind of right hooked the 5s. Yeah, internet connections, man. It's the online sim racing's mechanical failures. It's my favorite. Just nothing like
the best time, right?
Yeah, it's nothing like getting up there racing, having a good race, being fast, and all of a sudden, boom, your internet goes out. All the cars and trucks just disappear, and you're all there by yourself. You're like, oh, no, this is not good. And then you just disconnect. It only seems to happen when you're having a good race, too.
Cody Bame. We got Garrett Kinder, Tracy Pastons, Charles Stevens, and Alan Nash, the top 5 here on this restart.
Yeah, Cody's been able to get the restarts he needs to get out front, and I don't really feel like we've had enough time for somebody to run him down, but he definitely has been a good bit faster than the folks behind him. I'm curious to see if anybody can get up there and challenge this 78 car or truck. It just seems like he is on rails right now. Into the Geico restart zone. Green flag back out, and he gets another good restart, but Garrett Kinder going to be right behind him. Now, somebody to note here, sorry, Bradley, I don't mean to interrupt you, but Stephon Davis, we saw him involved in a wreck, spun out, and Stephon Davis up here running in the 5th position. So probably the short track specialist going to be out front, but I think we've got a caution here. Caution's out.
Yeah, 26. Tommy Osborne goes around on the back stretch. Looks like the right front, a little bit of damage on that as well.
Yeah, we'll take a look here on the Kinder Farm and Ranch. We're going to get a lot of Kinder Farm and Ranch Wreckage Rewinds in today, it looks like. On board with the 26 of Tommy Osborne. And again, Gary Wright. Trouble getting off
the wall.
Yeah, Gary Wright. I mean, it looks like he just kind of got loose. Gary Wright did. Yeah. Just comes right across the nose of the 26.
And I think that might have been part of it too there with the 5, where he was coming off the exit of 4. It wasn't necessarily that the 5 hit him and he hooked him. I think he just was already loose from the contact. And now coming off of turn 2, very, very loose, all by himself. Let's see on board here with him. He's already kind of struggling here on the throttle. And that's what we talked about in the pre-race, how hard it is to get the truck to actually connect to the racetrack. You can do it 7, 8, 9 times, but that one time you piss off that right rear, you go to the next corner and it just loops itself around.
Yeah, and it seems to be when that happens, it's it's when you're running outside of a groove that you hadn't been in. You see everybody kind of running in that dark area of that bottom and middle line. You might sneak up there a little bit, but if you stick those right sides up, you're just not used to exiting that high, and you're trying to get the truck to turn, you lean on that right rear a little bit too much outside of that grip. It's so easy when you're on a line you haven't been on before, and you get loose, and it just comes right around on you. And sometimes it just seems like in iRacing for a long time it's been like this, where it seems like just once it starts to go around, you can't save it, especially at low speeds like that. So 2 disconnects already. Travis Bieber, Alex Veith, both dropped due to upload packet loss. So tough.
One of those mechanical failures.
Yeah, one of those mechanical failures. So it's like they had a brake rotor failure here. Well,
pretty common.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty common brake rotor failure at New Hampshire. Martinsville's the other place that comes to mind, where back in the day before they had ventilation to the brakes, things were failing left and right.
Yeah, and you're definitely on the brakes, quite a bit here. So if we did have a brake failure, this would be definitely a place for it to happen. I would say at least a right front failure, how hot it probably gets. Just really leaning on that right front.
And I think they extended the caution for 1 lap here. Lights are back on the pace truck, so gonna go out this time by.
Well, so far, Tracy Passons, it says he's gained 8 spots. Charles Stevens has gained 9 spots. Stephon Davis up 9 spots as well, 10. And I think it was more than that. I don't know. But no, started 15th, running 5th. Unless I'm just missing something. But a lot of folks have made up a lot of, with this difference in pit strategy has kind of allowed guys to make passes. And we're going to see that all night, where folks are not, kind of foregoing pit lane just for track position. And so far, it seems like it's worked out pretty well, even though Lucas Lyons has been able to make his way up to the 5th spot on those new tires. But we'll see if we can get us a long green flag run. I think that'll be really telling whether or not those tires really make a huge difference or not.
Pace truck pulls off. We're going to go back live and racing for, I believe, the 5th time today. Into the Geico restart zone. Green flag is out. Another great restart there by Cody Bateman. Tracy Passons is putting the pressure on Kinder. This is the first time on the restart that the 53 is starting to challenge for 2nd place. Car in the wall in the back. That's Mike Veith, rather.
And Andy Kurtz is around again, yeah. My goodness, Bradley, what is going on, man? We seem to be struggling here tonight, especially on these restarts. And is it the you think it's the difference in just tires? You've got some guys who, you know, speed differentials, kind of running up there, and then you got guys in the back with tires trying to get themselves to the front. It seems to be what's going on, but we'll take a look at the replay real quick.
Yeah, and I think it's also a product of guys knowing that this is my opportunity. This restart, I'm going to pick up this position. I had a run here with about 10 to 13 laps where we were clean and green, and I couldn't get by him, so I'm going to try to get him on the gun. You can see right here, it's already set up. And these guys are side by side in the one on this restart. So a big dive there with a 5, taking him 3 wide. And I believe that's the 54 in the middle. This actually starts with the 9 off the wall.
Yeah, Mike Veith just gets loose there, and he goes around. Watch it from another angle, but I mean, Andy Kurt's just the worst bystander at this point. He's been hit by everybody, but he was 3 wide with Brandon Wallace. I think, the 9 was trying to avoid the 32 there as he got loose. And you see, my goodness, just trucks going everywhere trying to avoid it. Man, Mike comes down the track as everybody's trying to pass him.
Watch the onboard. I was wanting to see if we could get a wheel shot, because it almost looks like the 9 snaps free and then tries to catch it at the wrong time. He just shoots to that outside wall.
Yeah, I think you're right. I thought he was avoiding the 32, but I think you're absolutely right here. To watch one more time from this in-car angle.
Yeah, it's just weird that like the transition of the turn wasn't done, and he was going straight. That's peculiar.
Weird. Yeah, I don't know. It didn't seem like he had the gas matted. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if had some wheel issue or just a sort of a lazy trying to avoid the 32 as he was kind of running him down on the exit and then just plow right into the wall.
The overcast skies here almost making it look like a night race at New Hampshire.
I know.
Very cloudy here today.
Yeah. We I don't know. It seems like we also have a little sunset going on, so I think this track has lights. I'm not sure, but I feel like we might need to use them at some point. I don't know. Especially if these
new iRacing rain physics, are they going to come into play here today? We're going to get an early release, as cloudy as it is.
You know, that would be the greatest thing iRacing's ever done. Is just in the middle of your race, release rain. Figure out a way to push it without you having to download it, or just sneaky download it. Push the update. You go in there and all of a sudden,
1st.
Yeah.
That's what they should do.
It's a good idea. Well, I'd be a fan of that.
That would probably make the pit strategies a little more interesting as well. Some guys would get a prediction from the spotter that it might rain soon. Do they come down pit road? Do they stay out and take the gamble? Make the sim even more immersive, in my opinion, but it could also be one of those things that could be another factor to go wrong, as we already have enough issues.
I was going to say, based on this race alone, I'd say we keep rain far, far away from oval racing as long as possible. That's what I would say.
Right. Yeah.
Another restart here. Cody Bame has led I'm pretty sure he's led every lap he has, and continues to stay up front. Now, those new tires are starting to creep up every restart as we get back green here. Cody gets another great jump, but what can Lucas Lyon do here on the outside with those new tires?
Looks like he's probably going to be able to hang it out there. Kinder has been on the inside for every single pass that he's tried to complete. This time on the restart, gets stuck on the inside again. The 25 probably going to have the preferred line here to complete it for 3rd.
Yeah, we've seen the 25 really use that outside line earlier and was able to hold off that 13 machine. Of course, with 20-lap fresher tires, that makes it even worse. But honestly, these older tires doing a great job. I think there might be I'm going towards the end of this race. It doesn't seem like tires are a huge difference. I mean, only about a 5/10 difference after 40 laps. That's not much fall off. But here we go. We got maybe a battle for the lead, though, as Lucas starting to make its way up towards the front. But Tracy Passon's starting to run down the 78. This is the most pressure that the 78's been under all race long.
He's shaving a little bit off every entry in the corner. And these two up front, like you said, 20 lap difference on tires. I'm surprised to see the 25 of Lyons falling back as far as he has. And we got a yellow.
Yep, yellow flag is out. Can't see who it is. Looks like Travis Bieber has gone to pit road, so we'll go back and see if... Uh-oh.
Uh-oh.
We'll get back to the main feed here. Oh, yeah, you see Travis just gets a little bit loose there off the corner and honestly just calls it quits. He's already 11 laps down from that disconnect, and he's going to get a little bit loose right here off the corner. Same thing that we've seen, and he's like, all right, enough of that. Just calls it quits.
Yeah, I guess this is a good night to watch football if you're into that sort of thing. I would personally probably be watching the Packers game, but it's don't ruin the scores for me. But it was a good day in football. I know that the Browns beat the Ravens, so there's a little stat for you: 33-31.
Impressive. Got some guys coming down pit road. Lucas Lyons coming down for a second time, and it looks like Garrett Kinder going to take his first stop of the night as, Cody Bain going to stay out yet again along with Tracy Passon and Charles Stevens. So interesting to see these guys stay out for as long as they have, but I mean, Cody's not feeling pressure. The only person he's felt pressure from has been Tracy Passons, and that's not... I don't know. It doesn't seem like it's worth coming down pit road at all. So interesting to see that see this kind of strategy play out here.
Well, the pressure that does get applied, and we have a caution. It just keeps resetting these guys. Yeah. Cody's able to get out to a good lead and maintain that gap for a little while. We haven't really seen the long run come into fruition. I'm sure that there's somebody out here that could be a little bit faster than Cody. We just haven't seen the runs come out yet.
Yeah, and it's so frustrating when you're out there racing and you feel like you've got a truck or car that can go out there and win a race, and these cautions just come one right after another. It's so funny, the tracks that do breed a lot of cautions, because there are certain tracks you think, oh yeah, for sure we're gonna have, you think about Bristol, you think, oh yeah, we're gonna have 1,000 cautions, and sometimes that is the case, but then a lot of times, you see a lot of green flag racing, then you go to a track like this and you think, okay, it's going to be relatively clean how wide the track is, but the line that you have to race is so narrow that everybody's kind of put in a box that it makes it difficult to pass, and that kind of is just the perfect mix of chaos sometimes.
And this is those tracks that have hard exits, such as Iowa or Dover, where the exit wall can bite you, and getting back to the throttle too soon can spin the truck around. That's usually the tracks that we see kind of the caution breeding cautions, because you bunch these guys all back up, you put them right on top of each other, and some of the guys that might not be comfortable with side by side, they get back on the throttle a little too soon.
Yeah, and we've seen that a couple times tonight. And then that you add in the difference in tires, and it's just hey, I think this is why the tour mods love coming here to this track. It's just a very fun and racy track. Just seems to be hard to pass, so we see a lot of strategy, which has sort of been the name of the game here. But not quite halfway, just a little under, as we're going to take the green flag at lap 46. And maybe we'll get a long green flag run here to see who can, and I think if you're Cody, Tracy, and Charles, you're in the danger zone of now worrying about a long green flag run because you're still out there on 45 lap old tires. So if you get a run to the end here, they're going to have to come down pit road and get fuel. So at some point, you got to think about that if you're one of the top 3 here. But green flag back out. Cody Bame going to get another great jump as we come barreling down into turn 1. And side by side, it's going to be Charles Stevens and Tracy Passons.
So Stevens down on the bottom, rocking the VSRN on the hood, and he goes back in line, battle for 4th position.
Oh, we got another wreck back here. Lucas Lyons going around.
Aaron Adcock around as well.
Oh, my goodness.
17 went for a wild ride there on the outside. It looked like he actually left the ground a little bit with the impact.
Let's take a look at that real quick. And I see the 17, 3 wide, like you said, with Gary Wright again on the outside. Uh-oh.
I think Wright might have got a little help that time for the 25. They were 3 wide. That was tight.
Go back and see if we can't get a little bit clearer picture of that. You're right there on the outside. Garrett Kinder, who's been up front. Oh, yeah. Just a...
There's a domino effect between the 25, the 21, and the 58 of Cofield.
Yeah,
they were almost staggered 4 wide.
Yeah, again, Gary Wright, I think what you said earlier is kind of what happened there. Again, he was trying to get that truck to rotate on the outside, and it's just too tight. And so he's having to give it too much throttle. But just watch it again right here. He's just trying to get it going off the top side. And he's starting to come around here. And like you said, the 25 gets him on the left rear. He comes down, takes out the 17. And that's all she wrote when it comes to a couple of those drivers. Go on board with...
Yeah, you'll see Cofield here in the back as well. He's like staggered offset on the 25's bumper, and it's so tight. None of these guys have room for error at all.
Yeah, and then it goes back to what we've been saying. Just the tire difference. You got fast guys in the back trying to make something happen.
Oh, and that camera angle you just showed, sitting on the backstretch long ways. How great of a feeling is that when you know you have about 20 other trucks coming your way?
Yeah, watching on board with Cofield right here as he kind of splits the difference, goes to the inside of all of it, and it was able to avoid majority of that. My goodness.
That brings out caution number 8, I believe. That's stat on the race recap. I'm not entirely sure, but I think it's 8. 7 cautions.
You're pretty close. That's a good. That was a pretty good guess, I would say. Oh, all right. Honestly, Cody Bame seems like he's a dang genius, but he's got to pit at some point. You got to come down and get fuel. I would imagine, some of these short tracks, like Martinsville, you can go a long, long way on fuel. I can't imagine at 80% fuel you're going to make it to the end. So if we get another caution, we'll actually bring him or Tracy up in here and see what their thoughts are about it. But about to go green here. Our 8th restart of the night. And just hoping that we can get a couple laps of green flag racing. Maybe 10. Let's see if we can get 10. That's a good goal to shoot for at this point.
Yeah, let's see if we can keep that number at 7 up on the top of your screen right now. Green flag back underway, and the 78 with another great restart. Lightning McQueen hasn't taken any tires in this race yet.
Yeah, he is the environment's best friend, as he is not no rubber tree's not scared of him, as he's not using it at all. But look, all the way in the back, we've got guys fanning out all over the place. We've got sort of a battle for the lead here as Tracy gets to the back bumper. Let's see if he can do anything with it.
He's really good on the entry. Passons can get the nose on the inside. He might have to do a little Martinsville maneuver and move him out of the line. It can be tough to pass.
Yeah, you can hear the shifting that's going on between these two. As that, that may be another reason why we're seeing guys get loose off the corner, is they're trying to shift from middle off. And that really, really breaks those rear tires loose. You see how tight Tracy is right there. he was really not able to get through the middle of that corner. He got so tight, had that steering wheel turned all the way over to the left side, but he's still able to pull away these two with, I mean, Cody Bain just set his fastest lap. And, oh, by the way, the fastest lap of the race.
29.985.
Yeah, I mean, that's the fastest lap, and the second fastest lap was Tracy Passon's. And so these guys have been out here on 52-lap old tires, and it seems like, I mean, I don't know. Yeah, just they're cheated up, it looks like, obviously.
Yeah, they've got the, I mean, if we're being honest, though, probably about 20 of those have actually been under green.
Yeah, that's true. Honestly, I would imagine that pace has got to fall off pretty quickly as they get up to temperature. But yeah, I think you're absolutely right. I think they just haven't had a whole lot to do here.
Yeah, all the racing has really been between the 25 of Lyons, who's now out of the picture. You have the 13 up there a moment ago, and he is actually struggling back here. It's Garrett Kinder. Little contact there between him and I believe the 01 of Mickey Isaac. Isaac bringing out caution number 1. You remember, back up here in the top 10 now in 7th.
Yeah,
and another yellow, and that's
Stephon Davis.
You out there.
No, you're fine. Like some
Charles
contact
Stevens involved.
Yeah, contact with Stephon Davis. It looked like. We'll try to see if we can't go back and see what happened.
And I think the 21 truck's going to be in this as well.
Oh, no. It looks like Josh Lokovitz is where that wreck started as he got to the... Was it him? Yeah, it was. So he's going to go down to the corner, and he's going to get into the back bumper of Stephon Davis right here. And when he does, he's going to get a little tag from the 19 who gets a tag from Charles Stevens, and it's just a chain reaction there as they all did a little 360 and drove away. Hey, Bradley, you know why they call it an Xbox 360?
No, but I have a feeling you're going to tell me.
Well, when you see it, you do a 360 and you walk away, and that's exactly what these three did right here. Look at them both. I mean, the 19 gets a little bit, but the 79 just does a little whoop whoop and goes. So, not the worst wreck we've seen, but just a weird checkup. There's Stephon Davis just trying to get down a little bit.
A lot of thinkers down pit road here. We got your race leader, the 78, finally coming down pit road for some tires.
Well, I tell you what, it has got to be just mainly for fuel, I think, because I just can't imagine his tires felt that bad. But let's actually, as he's getting ready to come off pit road, let's bring Cody Bain up into the booth. Cody, this is Eddie and Bradley in the booth. You got a copy?
Sir, what's up, man?
Man, not too much. I mean, it's been a blast watching you. I know it's kind of been a caution fest, but you've been able to hold that lead for the majority of the race. Even on old tires, you're setting the fastest lap of the race there on that last run. I mean, it seems like tires, not a huge deal, but track position is, and now you have the tires, but not the track position. Talk a little bit about the first part of the race and how that truck's feeling and what you plan going forward.
It's been feeling really good. I really like New Hampshire, man. This is like my favorite track. So I know nobody else really likes it, so I think maybe that's why I like it. Pretty weird. But it's been good. It's just been really able to pace myself. And honestly, I would have stayed out the whole race if, these were electric cars or something and you didn't have to get gas. But definitely need some gas. So that's part of it, man. We'll see what we can do.
Yeah, you're sitting there in 14th. Got a little bit to get back to the front. You definitely have had the speed to do it. Good luck to you, brother.
Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Hopefully I make it a fun show here.
Absolutely. We'll put him back in his room with Tyler, and we'll get ready to go green as Garrett Kinder, that 13 machine, has found his way up to the front. And guess who else? Michael Kostick, your points leader. Always seems to find his way back up to the front. Andy Kurtz, who's been, he's been sideways, upside down, back and reversed, and all kinds of stuff. He's sitting there in third. So this race was really turned on its head quite a few times.
Well, let's re-rack him and try it again. The 13 going to lead him into turn 1 for the first time today. Garrett Kinder going to lead some laps.
Yeah, gets off to a great start. Kostick gets clear. He's going to have Andy Kurtz and Lucas Lyons side by side behind him as Kurtz going to trying to make that outside work as, ooh, they make a little bit of contact as you see them fanning out down the back straightaway. That smoke scaring the hell out of somebody as Kurt's going to take over that spot, dives down in front of Lucas to keep that third position, but it's actually going to look down the inside of the 8. So trying to hang on to that third spot, being aggressive, and that seems like what you got to be. Oh, as Lucas drives really hard into the corner, almost makes contact.
Really close there between the 5 of Andy Kurtz, Lucas Lyons, and a truck sideways off the backstretch. They're fanning out everywhere. This is 79's going to go around.
Oh, and it looks like Cody Bain was involved in that as well, but Josh Lokovitz, like you said, goes around again. He brought out the last caution, was at least involved with it. He didn't bring it out, but man, a tough night for the 79. We'll see what happened here.
You see them as they come off of turn 2. They all fan out. There's a bunch of trucks into the outside wall. I think there was 4 different trucks that hit that wall simultaneously, all by themselves.
Yeah, I mean, you could see Curtis Sobrin got loose, and then Aaron Adcock is ultimately where the caution came from, as he gets real loose off the corner. I'm trying to find that 17 truck right here. See that gear, he got that third gear, and the truck just doesn't rotate like he was expecting. He actually does a really good job of avoiding the carnage, but that's where it all started. He got up to 10th. I mean, he positive gained some spots there, but yeah, I mean, it just I think the truck, he was trying to use that third gear, and it just didn't rotate, and he hits the wall off the corner. And Cody Bain, you see right there, good gosh,
man,
yeah, so
that was a hard hit there.
Yeah, we were just talking to him about that, and he's been up front all race long.
And that's the factor now he hasn't had to deal with in this race, is that, yeah, there were cautions, but they were all behind him. Now he's directly in the hornet's nest.
Yeah, he got that initial contact, and then right here, boom, another one.
Yeah, that's a hard lick to the front, and thankfully they have fast repairs. Looking on pit road, the 78 did come down to get that fast repair.
Yeah, we see Cody leaving with his fast repair, so he'll drop back to the 24th spot. And another caution, but we're starting to click these laps off. It's going to end eventually, Bradley. I feel pretty confident about that. However slow it's going to take, but right now, I mean, you got to feel really good if you're Garrett Kinder or if you are Michael Kostick, anybody in the top 5 up here, because I don't think anybody's pitting from here on out. So, you know, you just wonder about that strategy call for Cody to stay out as long as he did. I mean, he was able to avoid a lot of the carnage that some of those guys had to go through. I mean, Andy Kurt sitting in 4th. I mean, I think he was involved in a couple wrecks to get up there. So, yeah, I don't know. It's hard to say what the right call is. Now Cody is really in the hornet's nest. He's got to be patient. But, you know, with only 40 laps to go, how patient can you really be trying to get up through the field, get back up front?
Yeah, patience is going to be the name of the game, but with the laps dwindling down, you know that that's not going to be the case. A lot of these guys looking at positions that they might have had earlier in this race, trying to get them back. 13 of Garrett Kinder gonna lead him into turn 1. Michael Kostick on the outside, Andy Kurtz, Jonathan Cofield, and Lucas Lyons, the top 5.
Well,
if you thought we were done watching the wrecks, hold on to it, because I think we're gonna keep going.
Yeah, great jump there for the leader, which has been the call all night. The leader's been able to get out to a great jump as we're on board with Jonathan Cofield. Hopefully we'll get some green flag action here, as, man, we've got some door banging action going on up here at the front, though, as here we go. Michael Kostick now looking down to the inside as there's a truck down there. I think it's Aaron Adcock, who is low on the track, sitting sideways. No caution, though. We stay green. Kostick.
No caution. Still challenge for the lead, challenge for 3rd place as well. That's Cofield on the outside of Kurtz.
And Curtis Sobrin tries to come down and block. Looks like maybe the 53 of Tracy Passons, and almost does just a nosedive into the inside wall as it came across that 53's nose. So it is getting feisty back here. These guys fighting for every position they can get. Tracy Passons trying to get back to the front, and he is now battling for that 10th position. Up front, though, Kostick all over the back bumper of this 13 machine. Have we seen a successful pass for the lead? I don't think we have. So I'm interested to see. Yeah, I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think we've seen some challenges. This is probably the closest the battle has been really all day, with Caustic on the inside here. He's going to peek the nose down into 3 and 4. The 13 goes up a little high, and he's going to diamond in late apex. It looks like he's getting a little bit loose there, but he holds on to it.
Yeah, that inside line just dies off the corner, and just being able to use the transmission to slow the truck down and then be able to really rotate the truck. We've seen that really hurt some guys here tonight, but if you're able to do it correctly, it definitely seems like it makes it incredibly difficult to pass up off the bottom. And we talked a little bit about the apron, running the apron. There's a couple places that that'll work really well. Interesting to see if somebody might go down there and just try it, especially as sort of a Hail Mary type, like the opposite of a Hail Melon, go down to the Hail Apron.
Yeah, we'll probably see that with 10 to go. If we could stay green here, that'll be a factor. Right now with the tires as fresh as they are, it's almost counterproductive to drive it down there because you don't need that rotation. That's typically why those guys will go down there, is once the tires are so tight that they can't keep the front end steering in the right direction.
Yeah, I mean, Caustic is really being patient with it. You don't see him really getting loose up off the corner, and he actually does a great job of staying next to him here on entry of this corner, and actually gonna
glimpse at the lead there. He might complete the pass, and there he comes off with 2. It looks like he's got it.
Yeah, what a great move. I mean, just a lot of patience that he showed right there. Now Garrett Kidder under fire. Oh, he's going to lose another spot. I don't know if he's going to try the old okey doke crossover. Yeah, he tried, but couldn't do it. The old switcheroo, as we call it.
13 looked like he's starting to struggle a little bit on handling. He gets back into the racing groove. Being pinned up there on the outside might have burned up those tires a little bit. Now the 5 of Kurtz into the mix. They've settled down here in the top 5. The top 4, rather, pulled completely away. Back here to the 5th through 8th position, it's still pretty tight. You got some side-by-side with the 27 of Alan Nash on the side of the 25.
Yeah, you can see those two matching trucks. They kind of just seem to follow each other through the field. But this is a hornet's nest of really fast drivers. You got Brett Bieber with Lucas Lyons all over the back bumper of that 808 machine as Alan Nash down on the inside in that Winn-Dixie with that Haviland truck of Tracy Parsons right behind them. And then Stephon Davis has made his way back up in here. But, man, look at them. They're all over the place. Oh, as they make a little contact, Stephon Davis comes down off the wall. And here comes Cody Bame in the 78. Comes from all the way to the back. He's up into the top 10 with 30 laps to go, and he is going to lean on Stephon Davis off the corner as he continues to make his run up towards the front.
There's a lot of action there right in front of Bame, and he's able to navigate and get around. Picks up 3 spots in that one corner, now into the top 10. 78 looking like maybe there's still a chance. I thought we were going to have to count him out, but now that we have the green flag run, he's been able to get through. Came back from 24th position.
Yeah, and
after that restart.
Being able to, oh my goodness, these guys going to make, he has to check up just a little bit. But, I mean, you got to be able to make up, be able to make up those 3 spots like that real quickly. I mean, that's huge. Instead of it taking 10 laps to make those passes.
Taking 3 wide.
Oh, boy, is this going to work? We haven't seen this work yet. Oh, my goodness. He kind of comes across the nose of the 53, but able to hold on to that spot. He doesn't want to go 3 wide for sure. So he tries to hold him off.
Cut him a break. Passon's cut him a break there and let him have it. He didn't force the issue. We've still got a little bit of racing left to go. Just 3/4 of the way through. 78 car looking like he might be able to get back up here in this top 5, but Michael Kostick starting to pull the top 4 away from the rest of the field.
Yeah, while this is exciting, you're absolutely right. 3.5 seconds he has to the lead, and you can see that interval right there. So he's got a long way to go, but now he's looking down to the inside of Lucas Lyons. And Cody does have a little bit of contact, moves Lucas up the track. Now Cody does have the I believe,
yellow.
Oh, yellow is out. Curtis Sovereign.
Charles Stevens.
Yeah,
so
you're
got
right.
Sovereign and Stevens involved. I would venture to say they got together.
Yeah,
and
Charles
smoking
Stevens
on the 88.
Uh-huh. See Charles Stevens not happy for sure. He's got a lot of engine damage. He's yet to use his fast repair, so he'll be able to come down pit road and get that fixed. So lucky for him. Let's go back and see if we can see what happened here.
Yeah, this replay doesn't look good.
A little bit of contact there from the 54, and they kind of got stuck together is what it looked like.
I know Stevens came in there a little hot, maybe over-sent it into the corner, couldn't get it to turn down.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're absolutely right. He does come up quite a bit. And you'll go back and see this. I mean, he gets a run on him here as Curtis gets into the wall. And I think the 88 could just smell blood and said, yeah, we're going to go for it right here. Just drives in a little bit too deep. It's close, though. I mean, that's frustrating.
Yeah.
You should be able to lean on somebody like that. iRacing is just not very good at that. Watch as he goes down in the corner. I mean, I will give Curtis some credit. He didn't try to get off of him at all. He was like, if you're gonna come up into me, you're gonna have to make it work. We'll go on board with Curtis here.
Yeah, he was pretty had his feet planted. This is my spot, and I'm here.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he also gets spun around and loses about 10 spots.
Yeah, and you could see how hard Charles Stevens was just trying to be aggressive there and get that spot. And if you could have cleared him, it might would have worked, but just couldn't get it done. So
the backup here in the top 5, Cody Bame is going to be restarting on the inside with Michael Kostick as the lights go out on the pace truck. So it resets the big lead that the 8 had stretched out, gone. And, less than 25 to go when we go back green. I think the 78 has his work cut out for him, but I think he can pull it off. He's been faster than everyone.
Yeah, I think that was about the best thing that could happen for the 78 because he's definitely the fastest truck on the track. I mean, he's faster than everybody. He's got this place figured out. He already said he really likes it. So, yeah, I think that you're absolutely right. It was the perfect time for that caution to come out, and I think he's going to be on the offense right away, and I think you have to be with only 23 laps to go once we go green. That's not a lot of time, especially as you get up towards the front. It makes those passes a lot harder every car or truck that you pass. Pace truck going to pull off. Michael Kostick going to lead us down to the green flag. 23 laps to go here in New Hampshire.
The one interesting statistic, I just looked through the averages on the lap times. There's one other driver keeping pace with Cody right now. That's Tracy Passons. He's got a little bit faster best lap time, and his average overall is right there matched.
Well, and we saw that play out at the first part of the race. He stayed out just as long, but here goes Cody out to the outside, making those tires work. Going to maybe get to the outside of the 13, but nowhere to go at the moment as he's going to be kind of pinned up against the wall. I mean, it is going to be tough. Here he goes to the outside, trying to get that spotter call on the outside. Maybe a little bit unnecessary at the moment. Ooh, almost gets into the wall.
Almost gets into the 13 as well. Garrett Kinder had to pull it off, and now he's got the 53 to the inside. Passon's going to try to move up to P3. Closing laps here, just about 20 to go, and it looks like a hornet's nest in the back of the field. We got another truck going around.
Matt Clement with a hard hit on the inside wall, and he is out of here as Jeremiah Holt damage as well. Matt Clement had a hard hit there. We'll go back and see what happened there on the replay.
They sent it in here 3 wide, it looks like.
Yeah, Jeremiah Holt going down to the inside. He's got Josh Lukovitz on the outside. He's just trying to clear it. It's got the 26. With Tommy Osborne on the outside and comes off the corner. Woo.
Yeah, the 19 just got really loose and came across his nose. He didn't even know it was happening until he was right there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Yeah, just another, I think probably another, issue of that shifting.
Yep.
No, actually not.
No, he's in 4th the whole time.
Yeah, he never shifted. So I thought maybe he had gotten to 3rd to try to get out of that 3 wide situation, but just gets on the throttle, and that thing does not want to come off the corner and just comes straight around. So, kind of another odd issue, but gonna have to call it quits. It looks like for Matt Clement. So
this buys Michael Kostick, Jonathan Cofield that are in the front row, buys them a little bit more time to possibly finish 1 and 2. But that's 78. If we get a long run here, and we don't have a lot of laps left, but 15 laps, that's plenty of time for the 78 to work these guys over and take over the lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's a perfect scenario if you got faster tires, or newer tires, I mean, and, you're able to make up a couple spots, and then the caution comes out, you reset. It's been a really good scenario for Cody and Tracy, both, and Alan Nash as well, who's up to 5th now. So, Garrett Kinder, I don't know what happened to him unless he came down pit road there. But he is way back in 24th. Did you see what happened to Garrett Kinder? Because I did not.
I didn't see it. No, I
that way
go back and
here.
see if I can find.
Yeah, he comes down pit road. So I guess getting 4 tires and fuel, I guess he feels like tires are a big deal and wants to at least take a set. If he felt like he wasn't able to go up there and win the race, why not come down? If you're here just trying to win, come down, get that set of tires, and hope that you can do the same thing that Cody Bain did. So I guess he just felt like he was getting eat up by those tires and wasn't going to be able to move forward.
Yeah, but that's a lot of track position. I don't know. That's a gamble. I mean, he'll probably end up about back where he was when he pitted, so I don't know that that's going to be a big benefit there for the 13.
Yeah, and all the tire situation like Cody, Tracy, only 21 laps on Cody's tires, not all of them green flag. The people that have stayed out the longest are Kostick and Cofield here with 39 laps on their tires. So he's going to be racing a lot of folks that are right around his tire level. So I think you're right. Maybe too little, too late for the 13, but we'll find out.
Back green and racing. It looks like, the 11th time here tonight. Kostick gets a good restart here, and Cofield under fire from the 78 going into 1.
Yeah, I imagine Cofield going to try to race that 78 hard, but he ain't going to be able to do nothing with it. It's the 78. Gets a great run through the middle of the corner and actually clips the left rear bumper of the 8 on Michael Kostick. So, the 78 really rolling the center here really well, especially into 1-2. Oh, here goes the 27 of Alan Nash around. And caution back out. Good grief.
Caution number 12, I'm guessing. I'm guessing here, but 3 wide again, it just doesn't work. That's lines there on the inside, I believe.
Yeah. See Alan Nash get down to the inside, just trying to prevent any more. Goes down into the corner, and Andy Kurt's kind of coming down the track a little bit and gets into the back of him.
79 involved again.
Here we go. We got
I
another.
believe that's who hits him.
I think you're going to see Andy Kurtz try to come down under the 01 here. And the 27 just coming up at the exact same time. Brett Bieber does a great job of checking up. And, yeah, the 79, like you said, just gets right into him. On board with the 79 if we can. No, I can't find it.
I believe that's the 6th caution that the 79 has been indirectly involved in here tonight.
Yeah, just can't get out of the mess.
There it is. It's just long ways. The C's part, and he's got a truck right in the middle of it.
Oh,
nowhere to go.
Yeah, it's the most frustrating thing because you can't really make a decision. You're thinking, what am I going to do here? You can see his wheel was going left, right, left, right, left, right. Like, oh, which way do I go? And there's just nowhere to go sometimes. Well, all right. Well, Cody Bain. Go ahead. Sorry.
I was just going to say that's why you don't tailgate on the highway. You never know when you're going to find a tire sitting in the middle of the road, and that's kind of how that went get down. You got the spoilers on these trucks. It's so difficult to see what's on the other side of them. When the wreck starts, you're pretty much in it.
Yeah, we could see it because we got really nice camera angles. It's hard to see past the front bumper, the rear bumper, the truck in front of you. But, it's also, everything happens so fast on the track. and here late at the race, you don't want to just slow down and try to stop, because you worry if somebody's going to run into the back of me trying to slow down for this wreck, or I mean, there's so many things to think about that just trying to process all at once that, it can really hamper your decision making. And right there, it just seemed like the 79 a little indecisive about where he wanted to go. But green flag getting ready to drop here with just 13 laps to go. A 78 truck is looking mighty fast. Tracy back there in fourth. So the newest tires up on the outside. That has been a pretty good spot from the second row on back. So we'll see if Cody can get a good enough restart that he can get to the outside or at least try to roll the center like he did last time, which was really successful. But not that many laps to go.
See if we see more of the same with the 8 and the 78 leaning on each other. That was the battle for the lead just before the yellow, and it was getting good. Going to heat back up. Green flag back out in the air. And Michael Kostick into turn 1 with a great restart. Going to pull Cofield alongside the 78 and buy himself some time.
Yeah, they're going to kind of box him in here, but I just wanted to see how aggressive the 78 was willing to be there. And you can see all over the back bumper of Kostick. And like I said, just kind of
around the 60.
Oh, no, Stephon Davis. We stay green. We're going to stay up here until the caution does come out. As, man, we got a battle for the lead as Cofield's going to go to the top spot. And we're going to have 3 wide as Cody Bain looks down to the inside. Can't do it, but caution is out. Oh, man, we're about to have a good race. And darn caution.
I think Cofield got it, though, on the yellow where it flew. I think he had the nose out.
I think you are right. I think he was able to get that clear. We'll take a look at that. Yeah, look at the 60 truck of Stephon Davis just getting flown out. Like he got voted off the island.
And I can tell you later on in this replay, the 13 not happy with the 88.
Look at that. The 17 pushes up the track. I think that scared Stephon a little bit. And then they're driving into the corner. Whoa.
Yeah, he's got contact, and he's going to go back after the 88 here after this replay. He catches back up to him. He is not happy.
Yeah, we're watching this wreck. There goes Stephon Davis down to the inside, and the 88 was involved in that. Yeah, and then oh, wow. I mean, the 88 was just
the 13,
yeah.
He could come up a lane there, but at the same time, they're leaning on each other still under caution.
Yeah, as we watch the 13 here. Try to see the extracurricular activities. Here they go right here. And yeah, definitely not happy. You see the 13 drive onto the door of the 88.
Watch down the backstretch. They beat each other's doors in there for quite some time. I guess that's sometimes you can talk it out, but other times fisticuffs. You got to use a little physicality to let a guy know that, hey, I'm going to be restarting right behind you, so shape up.
Yeah, trying to go back and see if I can see a little bit of that, but yeah, I mean, tempers start flaring, and obviously you don't get to see everything. And I think right there, I think Charles, while he was involved in that wreck, he still had that inside track and did drive in pretty deep. But I just don't know if Garrett was really expecting him to be there, and I don't know if I really fault either one of those drivers in that particular deal there.
Yeah, and then victim of circumstance for the 88, he had just got involved in. Like you said, he had to check up, and it's been a frustrating night. I know that a lot of these guys aren't getting the finish that they want. You see Stephon Davis, he's back to 25th position now after being up in the top 10 several times tonight.
Yeah, it's been a really tough season for Stephon. Had some really good speed, just has some terrible luck being involved in a lot of incidents, but 10 laps to go here. Jonathan Cofield now has control of the race. These two up front can't count down the restart this time. Cody Bain going to get a great jump behind the 58. And does he have enough time? Does he have enough tires to get around this 58 machine? As Lucas Lyon has now made his way back up to the front. So here we go. 78 to the inside. Can he hold on to it and make it stick? Oh, he's going to jump back up to the outside to try to block the 25. He's going to make another go at it here as they go down in the corner.
The 25, a teammate and a little contact there in the back of the 78 as they go into 3 and 4. Oh! They are leaning loose out of 4 for the 78. He's blocking all the way down to the bottom of the track to the 25 of Lions.
Yeah, I mean, the 78 frustrated, like, man, you're ruining both our races at the moment because we're watching that 58 just drive off. 58, while 10th in the points, has 3 wins, most out of anybody, and he's looking to get number 4 as we got even more incidents going on, but we're staying green, so we're going to stay here. Cody now, I don't know if he's got some damage. I don't know what happened there, but he is really falling off the pace. I don't know if he hit the wall when he made that contact, but
when he came off that corner sideways, I think the rear tires are just hot now. You can't get it to hook up.
Yeah, I think you're right. Just watching that potential win. Yeah, look at him. The wheel is just not able to get the power down. The rear tire's just on fire. He's trying. You can see how hard he's racing, but
leaning now on the inside of the 53 of Passons, and that was the other driver that was matching lap times. But right now it's Jonathan Cofield has stretched the lead out to over 0.8 of a second. He has his teammate Lucas Lyons behind him.
Woo! 53 is all over the back bumper of the 78 as 78 is trying to block, but at this point he is a sitting duck. He is dead in the water with those rear tires as hot as they are. He's trying everything he can. He's being aggressive. He's actually running down the 25, but the 58 driving off into the sunset with just 5 laps to go as they take the cross the start finish line here. Passons blows his motor.
Blown engine. 53 out of the race.
The heck?
And yellow flag does come out. We got Gary Wright going around. Big wreck there coming into 1.
So a wreck and the Tracy Passons. You see, I think it was Al Roberts involved in that. Greg Barnett involved, so a lot of drivers involved in that one, as I don't know if they were trying to avoid or what happened.
Yeah, I think guarding for position, you see the 27 pop the engine, and everybody behind has to check up when this happens.
Yeah, on board with Kyle Roberts here to see what may have happened. Looks like it may have happened right in front. Oh, yeah, right there. Wow, holy cow.
It happened almost immediately. When Passons blew his engine, those guys went to the corner. Maybe the smoke threw them off.
Don't know, or it was just happenstance. But yeah, you can see them. There's the smoke right there. We'll see if anybody checks up. Yeah, the Chuck Phelps gets blasted into the corner. I think he was probably checking up, like you said, for that. Got the 79 on the outside. He's battling here. Going to see the smoke. There it is. The engine gives out.
Oh.
And then he's going to try
the 79 escaped.
Yeah, the 79 escaped, but the 54 just ass blasts the 75, and that just kind of started the rest of it there. So, but man, tough break for Tracy Passons.
Yeah, but he does get a little bit of a break here with the caution coming out. He's able to go down, get that fast repair, and get back out on the track. So fortunately, it happened when it did, because he stood to lose every single position to go back to pit road.
Let's go back here. Let's see how hard he's racing and just see what happened. Gonna shift down. No, and he shifts down to second. That's what happened.
Money shift.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of times that happens in these shifters. You go trying to go to 4th gear, and he ends up going to second. Shifts down instead of up, and that's what did him in. So, and
I'd like to know the math on that. How many times, if these guys ran it green, how many times they would have to shift and downshift back and forth? A couple hundred times. I mean, you multiply it all by 4. They're doing it on each end of the racetrack per lap. It's that's a lot of shifting, a lot of opportunities.
Yeah,
for something to go wrong.
I've had a shifter where I would, you go to the end of the corner and shift down, and actually would shift twice with one click, and that could, have similar effect, but it seemed like right there, it just kind of just like you said, a money shift goes from instead of going from third into fourth, it goes from to third to second, and that'll do it, or third to first, one of the two.
Yeah, the 1-2-1 is not a not a good one either in drag racing.
Yeah, you want
I've seen those a time or two.
In gearing, you definitely want to go forward, not in reverse. All right. Going green here with 3 laps to go. We'll take 2 to go once we take the green flag here. We do have a couple green-white checkers if we need them. Hopefully we don't. Cody Bain has been able to get those tires cooled down. Green flag is out. Does he have enough to get up there and take the win, or will Lucas Lyons get up there and yoink this one from the 58? He's going to drive right in front of Cody Bain, go to the inside of the 58. He's going to go up, make contact, trying to get him loose. He gets himself loose. Here comes Cody Bain down to the inside.
And a block back from the 25. Shadows of what we saw in the front stretch between those two. They are boxing the 78 in. They are not giving him any room to make any moves.
Oh!
The 8 Acoustic block there on the exit of 4.
They're throwing caution, comes out right before they can take the white flag, and it's Gary Wright. Just has not been stuck into the wall right now. He's just not been able to avoid these incidents. And right before, I mean, Jonathan Cofield could see the white flag
100 feet away.
I mean, it was so close. We'll see what happened here. It's like the 9 of Mike Veith involved there. We'll take a look on board Gary Wright, see if we can see what happened.
There's a little check up there on the backstretch in front of him. I don't know if that sets this up or not, but
yeah, you see 3 wide and yeah, and just gets in the gas a little bit too early. And man, Kyle Roberts just blasted him after he makes contact.
These guys saw that white flag might be coming out, so they weren't lifting.
Yeah, we'll see. We're on board with Jonathan Cofield. We'll see when that caution comes out here. Coming off of turn 4 here. We'll see if the caution is out just yet. No lights, no lights. Boom. Oh, it's hard to see right there. We'll go back and see that one more time, but watch there on the right side of your screen. Green, 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 green. Yellow, look at that. Holy cow. Let's see if we
there's
get
about 10 feet in front of the line there.
Yeah, we'll slow it down so you can see it. Look at the green flag. He's got the white flag. The flag man is waving the white flag. And boom, yellow flag comes out right as he... oh, my goodness.
Yeah, I mean, it's been one of those races, and we've talked about how maybe it was complicated for the new software and the new things that we were going to be trying, but I think we've really broke it in here tonight.
Yeah, we've had a lot of opportunity to try all kinds of stuff. So, all right, green, white, checkered. The first one of the night, the first one of 2. So we'll have 2 attempts at it. And if you don't know anything about green, white, checkered, which I'm appalled if you don't, because that's ridiculous. You ought to know. But green, white, checkered, the way that it works, we'll take a green flag. We'll come around and take a white flag. And then after that, they'll race to the finish. Here in real life, green, white, checkered is once you take the white flag, the next flag ends the race, whether it be a caution for a wreck or a checkered flag. Here on iRacing, it's not that way. They do not throw a yellow flag on the white flag. So once we take the white, we're racing back to the start-finish line. Now, if we don't get the white flag, just like we just had right there, the caution will come out, and we will rack them up again, and we'll try one more time. And if we don't get a white flag, the next time the race will be over. So, couple attempts at this. If you got to be feeling pretty good if you're Jonathan Cofield, he's been able to get out ahead pretty quickly. But Lucas has been really, really fast. He's not going to have Cody Bain there to fight with. So Andy Kurtz has been fast the last couple restarts. So I think Cofield is not going to be so pressure free. I think he's going to have a lot to contend with here. I think what he's going to hope for is that the 5 and the 25 get side by side, just like they did there, make a little bit of contact and let him kind of scoot away.
I think Jonathan needs to make a call to Cofield Supply and Service and maybe paint that start-finish line about 500 feet closer to the exit of 4. So we can get to the white flag.
Man. Well, it has been a wild one, but we're going to come to a conclusion eventually, whether it be on this green, white, checkered or the next. Who's going to get it done? I mean, this has been a wild one. We've seen guys all over the place, and right now, I mean, Jonathan Cofield has only led 16 out of the 100 laps that we are going to end up running, maybe a little bit more than 100 now, 103 at the moment. So hasn't been. He's been up at the front, but hasn't been out front, and he's been able to get it done at the right time. But getting ready to go green here is the pace truck going to pull off first of 2 green-white checkers. Who's going to take home the victory here at New Hampshire? Green flag is out.
Watch the tire spin. The 78 back there. He's already had problems. Looks like the inside gets going a little bit better than the outside.
Cofield able to get a run, but here comes the 25. They're really leaning on each other off of turn 2. Lucas not going to be able to complete the pass, but there's more wrecking. Oh, my goodness, a big wreck. Oh, the 27, all hard into the house inside wall as he is dead. Somebody get the damn ambulance out there. He is, oh, my God.
Front of that truck is gone. Hard impact with the tire barrier. I don't think he had a chance to save that.
Lord have mercy. Let's go back and watch that again. We'll watch it from his in-car cam. This is Alan Nash, who's going to get murdered.
No, at no point did he have control of this truck once it left the track.
Oh, and just a dead stop. He's dead. I mean, the brain came out through the nose there. Go back and see if we can't get you a better view of what happened. I mean, it's just guys fighting for every position they can get. It was bound to happen. You're going to see here, 27 going to dive down to the inside of the 88. What exactly happened, I don't know just yet. We'll find out here. Oh, the 88 gets loose. Yeah, again, Charles Stevens with more trouble as we'll go on board with him.
We almost made it back to the white flag. They got to the back stretch, and I tell you, this will be our second green-white checker. This is the last one of the night, so if they can't settle it here, we have a yellow flag. It's over.
There it is.
Cofield just
gets loose again. Oh, my goodness.
Cofield just needs to get another great restart and hope that Lucas Lyons doesn't lean on him the wrong way, because those guys, I assume, are teammates. They've got Cofield on that truck, so I would assume those guys are on the same team here.
Well, I mean, they're definitely teammates, but that don't really mean too much. I think your teammates sometimes could be the guys that you race the hardest. I mean, they leaned on each other, but they were respectful about it.
Yeah.
But we'll see. We'll see when it comes down to crunch time. Everybody says what they'll do until they're put in the situation where they have to make the call, and it just sometimes you want to win bad enough you're willing to do whatever it takes. And a lot of times you rather do that and then ask for forgiveness than to not and finish second. So we'll see what Lucas, maybe Caustic, is willing to do.
I apply that to a lot of things in life. The forgiveness versus permission.
Yeah, any married man knows all about that. But all right.
Yep.
Lights are not off. We're going to go around one more time, but we are on this second and final green-white checker. Now, this time, Jonathan Cofield is hoping more than anything that a caution comes out, because if a caution does come out, that will end it. So we don't even have to get to the white flag for Cofield to win this thing. So we have gotten to the end of it. You start wondering a little bit about fuel. How much fuel do these guys have? I mean, Cofield has been out there longer than anybody, so
64 laps. I think Caustic's the only other driver that's out there on the same stint. So that's another factor. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's running, I think maybe one more, he might be in trouble. He's running, you can see he's in the highest gear in fourth. Definitely running low RPMs, just trying to make sure he can save as much. We don't know how many laps they can go, but it's got to be pretty damn close. So Cofield just hoping to get this thing over with, I would imagine. All right, lights are out on the pace truck. We're going to go green this time by, like I said, if a caution comes out this time, the race is over. But we want to see that white flag. We want to see them race it all the way to the end, because I think Lucas Lyons has something for this 58 machine. And at least he could see some side-by-side battling before this thing's over with.
I would have to venture that Lucas is going to race him clean, but I know that this could put him in a situation that 78's still lurking back there. Michael Caustic's still lurking back there. And the opportunity presents itself. You better bet that one of these guys are going to jump on it. Blood in the water. Last green-white checkered attempt, green flag back up in the air, and Cofield with a great restart gets the jump, and he's going to have the lane to go up in front of the 25, who's got defense on the 8 Caustic.
Yeah, the 25 drives in front of him. Man, look how hard he gets into the middle of the corner. Can he make it stay? Oh, he's going to wreck him! He spins him! He goes around!
I was worried about.
And that's
caution, what I was worried about.
Yeah, he overdrove the corner, and the caution comes out, and Lucas is going to win the race after spinning the guys whose name is on his truck.
Yeah, unbelievable. Unbelievable.
They take the white flag. They'll have to go around one more time. So this is the final lap. And there's going to be some discussions about that one is Cofield.
Yeah, I think some funding's going to get pulled from the 25 team. That's what I was worried about the whole time, that these guys were leaning on each other that hard. And I saw it almost happen there on that last restart where the 25 lost the nose and got right up next to the 58. Can you believe it, though?
I can believe it, but it's just honestly I didn't expect it to happen. But there you have it. Lucas Lyons takes the checkered flag. We're gonna go back and watch that.
Jonathan Cofield finished 22nd.
Yeah, that's pretty incredible. We're gonna see here on this restart, Lucas gets able to get down in there, and he's got the newer tire, so he really drives it into the corner. And just slides up in the middle. Yeah. Unfortunate.
I mean, that wheel was 90 degrees. I don't know if you saw that or not, but it was 90 degrees to the left. If it's not turning at that point, I don't think throttle's going to help.
Watch it right here as he just, Cofield's not going to give that room up, and makes Cody Bain going to go right up into the wall.
Wow.
A lot of good trucks taken out in that one. It's a massive pile up in the back of the field. There's going to be a lot for the admins to talk about after this race, I think. I don't know. It's been a great season, honestly. It's been really, really great racing. So I think this is one you just got to let go. You just know it's going to happen. Man, look at this wreck. We'll try to get a better view of it, but I mean,
they're using the 25 of Lions as a punching bag on pit road right now. Everybody is letting him know. Cody Bain actually finishing all the way back in 23rd, so he actually got behind Cofield in that wreck as well. So he loses a ton. That's the dominant driver of the day, finishing out of the top 20.
Look at that wreck. I mean, just a massive, massive pile up. Go on board with the 17 if we can. If I can find the drivers here. On board with Aaron Adcock, this wreck here. It's the last couple laps. You're not going to lift, and man, just the whole closes up. He's going to come home in 7th, though. As he's able to drive through all this, I don't know how this caution comes out. I guess it locked him into place. But, yeah, big hit from him.
And that's the other unfortunate thing. The yellow doesn't fly until Cofield's almost halfway back from the field, and I think he wasn't able under his own power to get back around the track.
Watch this. Watch Andy Kurtz somehow avoid this. Never lifts. No, he does lift just a little bit.
He got to the outside there, the 8.
Yeah, Michael.
He might have.
If it came out, the caution came out a little bit later, Caustic would have probably had this one because he's going to actually get ahead of the 25. And he's ahead of him right here, but the caution had already come out as, man, golly, just the mess that goes on back here. It's incredible. Well, man. Wow. Wow. What a wild finish. And we'll try to get some interviews. I think that'd be a good thing for us to do at this point. Try to get the top 3 in here and talk to them. Is man, just a I don't know. I mean, what do you think, Bradley? That was a crazy race. I don't know.
Well, I mean, the cautions breeding cautions. The patients are wearing thin. These guys that have been up front are wanting to get back there. You had a dominant driver who had been boxed in and abused out of the first spot. You know, and then you have two teammates that, well, I thought I Nostradamus that moment that these guys leaning on each other just wasn't going to work out. And lo and behold, the 58 ends up on the wrong end of it. And you've got Andy Kurtz, who finds himself up in the top 3 here tonight. Congratulations to him. He had a up and down night all night.
What the?
We've broken something.
Okay, we got it back. We're still learning here. We got Andy Kurtz up in the booth, though. Comes home with a 3rd place finish. Andy, you got Eddie and Bradley in the booth. You got a copy?
Hey, guys, what's up?
Man, I don't know. Are you wore out? Because that was a tiring race, a long, long race. Somehow were you able to come away with a 3rd place finish? And we saw you involved in quite a few wrecks tonight, and it seemed like the whole field made some contact with somebody. But a 100-lap race turns into 111 laps. Talk a little bit about that race there and what you needed to do to get up there and somehow snag that podium.
Yeah, man. Yeah, it was definitely a brutal race for sure. I had a tough first race or first half of the race. Yeah, I didn't have enough time to go back and look at all the incidents between now and talking to you guys, but yeah, just I don't know, just tough. I mean, I think I got hooked twice into the wall, and I don't know. I mean, the race started out pretty boring. I didn't realize that we were all shifting. I think we all started doing that as the race went on, but shifting in 3rd made a lot of fun. Totally changed the way you drove the truck, and you could really send it down in the turn a lot more and really drive it out and get loose. And I think that was causing some wrecks, but it made it a lot more fun. But yeah, just a brutal race for sure.
Well, I mean, we saw a lot of people really having to take a lot of liberties trying to make passes on folks. Is that something that you saw that you really had to be aggressive to make a pass? It seemed like it was really tough to try to make up some spots there, unless the tires were just that much different.
Yeah, you definitely had to. I was kind of driving like a jerk once I was in the back, and I had new tires. You really couldn't do anything. It was tough to pass, so I was just going 3 wide on the bottom on newer tires and hoping that we were all going to be good. But I don't know, just is what it is.
Well, you come home with a 3rd place finish. That's a pretty good, date for you to be able to come away with that after how this race went. You're sitting 2nd in points. That should increase that lead. With just 2 races to go, playoffs got to be something that you think about. Right now, we're going to have an off week next week, and then we come back on the 26th for Atlanta Legacy, which I know you love that track, and that will set the field for the final 10 for the 2-race little playoff there. So you got to feel pretty good. You're solidly into the playoffs. Get to kind of pin your ears back and have a little fun in a couple weeks at Atlanta.
Yeah, for sure. I'm definitely looking forward to Atlanta. Like you said, I love that track, and I mean, tonight was frustrating for I think everyone, but I can't remember the last race we had. The Sunday night trucks here, that was like that. A lot of them had been caution free. Richmond last week was really good, even though it was a short track. So I think the off week will be good, good next week, and then come back to Atlanta. That'll be a good one. And yeah, looking forward to the playoffs.
All right. Well, there you have it. Andy Kurtz comes home in 3rd place. And, man, as always, who you got to thank? Any sponsors, shout-outs?
Yeah, man. Yeah, thank you guys, as always, putting on awesome broadcast for us. I want to thank everyone at Rebels, Matt, Brennan, Chuck, Pegleg, Feltz, No Next Fast Spare, Kingdom Farm and Ranch, and Flexible Freight Solutions.
There you have it. Your 3rd place finisher, Andy Kurtz. And, we are in the Flexible Freight Solutions post-race show. So thanks to them. And, Andy Kurtz actually sponsors the Hard Luck Award that we got to give out. And Bradley, who are we going to give the Hard Luck Award to?
I don't know. Idea. That's a tough one. It's coming down to 2 guys in mind. The 58 of Cofield, definitely a hard luck at the initial. Like, that's the most immediate. But how about the 78 of Cody Bame? He led the most laps here tonight, had the fastest lap time, was the truck to beat. No one could touch him, but he put himself in a position where, after all those cautions, he pits late. I think it goes to the 78 for me.
Well, I think I can't argue with either one of those, and I think you're absolutely right. The 78 being the fastest truck and just staying out as long as he did to kind of put him in a position where, like you said, he had to, because he had to get some fuel, and that ultimately is what calls it. So he is going to be your Andy Kurtz Hard Luck Award winner. As far as your fastest, your biggest mover, Curtis Sauberin, who comes home in 10th. And honestly, Mike Veith, as we'll take a look at both of them right here. Mike Veith actually 16 spots as well as Curtis. So as we'll get the stuff off the screen, but Mike Veith there, 27th to 11th, that's 16 spots. And Curtis Sauberin, who we saw him involved in quite a few wrecks, but he is up 16 spot as well. So congratulations to both of them. They're going to win the No Neck Fast Repair Hard Charger award. So congratulations to those two. I mean, just a crazy race. I mean, I'm looking down the list right now, Bradley. Let's see. Out of the 28 drivers, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21 drivers use their fast repair tonight.
Yeah.
Holy moly.
You were talking about Veith there. He actually hard charged through the field several times tonight because that 9 got spun out. I think he went from the top 10 back to about 23rd 3 different times tonight. So there was quite a few guys that found themselves in the top 5. We saw the 60 who was up there, Stephon Davis. He had a fast truck. A lot of these guys had fast trucks, just never got to show it because of the yellows.
Yeah. Well, let's talk to and Bradley, I think you're caught up with second place Michael Kostick.
Yeah, I'm down here on pit road. A familiar name, Michael. We saw the cut short there on the yellow, another 15 feet, and I think you might have got tagged the winner here, but unfortunately not able to finish this one under green. What do you think anything would have changed there if we didn't have the yellow?
I don't know if I could have outran Lucas. He had fresher tires than me, but if the caution came out about a second later, I think I could have had him.
Yeah, it looked like that on our screen as well, and we saw the 78 kind of get boxed in, everybody making gutsy calls and staying out a little bit longer, but ultimately it backfired on him, and you guys were able to kind of box him out here in the top 3. Do you think the defensive driving helped you propel up here to the top 3 tonight?
Yeah, that, and I think is just important for track position. There were so many cautions that I know I pit earlier and kind of got stuck around 10th through 15th and just couldn't make anything going because you'd run about a lap and a half, 2 laps, caution come out. So I decided just to stay up front and hope for the best and just try to hold them off.
You did a good job at it. The truck looked fast. You put down a top 3 finish here tonight at New Hampshire, and I'm sure that everyone here is glad that this one's over with. You got anybody that you'd like to shout out?
Yeah, thank you guys, V-Speed and VSRN, for doing the broadcast. Matt for everything he does for the series and all the other admins in the league, and Hardline Transport Solutions, Cofield Asphalt Finishing, and my teammates.
We appreciate your time. Michael Kostick, second place finisher here tonight at New Hampshire, and ultimately down on victory lane. And I don't even know what you're going to say to this guy right now, so go take it away, Eddie.
Well, it's going to be interesting, and unfortunately, this is just what happens. You see Cofield on the back of this truck, Lucas, this Eddie, Bradley in the booth. Good win. Congratulations. That 25 truck really, really fast, but, I mean, the elephant, there's like a whole herd of elephants in the room at the moment. That last lap contact that sent Cofield around, tell us what happened there.
I'm stupid. I don't know what else y'all want me to say. I tried to do it on a restart before and got into him a little bit, so I tried to back it up this time, but I just did stupid moves. Typical short bus.
Well, I mean, you have to think that, if the race hadn't played out like it did, that wouldn't have been such a, you wouldn't have been in such a hurry. You would have had a couple laps to get it done. But with us having as many cautions as we had tonight, I mean, to give you a little bit of like, that you did what you're trying to do what you had to do, which is you had to get that pass done quickly before that caution came out. Do you think that had any effect on the decision to try to get it done in that first turn?
Yeah, it definitely did. Even though I had fresher tires than him, I felt like if I didn't get it done in turn 2, basically on the exit, he was going to pull away because that's what he did on all the other restarts. But I felt like if I had like 10 laps or something, I could have just took it a little bit easier. And me and him are both racing for a top 10 spot, and I did a dick move. I'm not happy about it. I know this is probably going to be the final time. I don't know if they're joking about it, but probably with Cofield on the car, and it's my fault, and it's not his. It's mine for doing a stupid move like that.
Well, I mean, you still had a really fast 25 truck, and you were trying to drive up through that top 5 pretty much all night. I mean, what was the obviously 17 cautions was just crazy. Just not able to get any kind of momentum going to try to make any passes, and the whole field was feeling like you were frustrated trying to just get up there and give yourself enough time to make a pass. But that 25 truck did look pretty fast tonight. You had a lot of opportunities. Just a messy race, and I know you're not happy about it, and I know you've got some people Jonathan obviously not going to be too thrilled about it, but it's sim racing. We all get over things and we'll move on. But all in all, before that happened, it was still a really good race for you. And just to say, I'm just a broadcaster, I'm neutral, but man, everybody makes mistakes. Everybody makes a little bit of contact, and sometimes you're the bug, sometimes you're the windshield, and it just happens like that. So don't beat yourself up too bad about it. I don't think anybody in this league thinks you did it on purpose, and it was just hard racing and a byproduct of how this race went tonight. It was just an overall mess. But as you were coming through the field real quick, what was the hardest part about trying to make these passes and get that 25 truck back up to the front?
I'd definitely have to say avoiding certain people. I know a bunch of people are going to say they probably want to avoid me, and because I'm aggressive and stuff like that. But there's definitely some people who are tougher to get around than others. And most of my passes, I either went all the way down to the bottom or basically all the way up to the top and just stayed out of the racing lane. But, if there probably wasn't as many cautions, it would have been a lot more fun tonight. But it was caution after caution. And, I had a fast truck, but, this isn't how I want to win at all.
Well, still, we're able to get it done. You come away with the victory. Man, who you got to thank? Any sponsor shout-outs?
I want to go ahead and thank Cofield. I don't know if y'all are actually joking about it, but y'all actually have done a lot for me in my racing career. Fearless Creations, Honor Home Loans, Gaming Chef, and all the people who watch on my Twitch, and maybe I should just go back to painting cars instead of actually being on track.
All right. Well, your winner, Lucas Lyons, obviously not thrilled about how that went down. He's able to get the win. Had to unfortunately made some contact there with the leader at the time, Jonathan Cofield, and you could tell. Bradley. Nobody. A lot of times you got some guys that don't care. They'll just run over you and they don't care. They're there to win the race. But you could definitely tell in his voice that's not what he intended to do.
No, he feels bad. And that was a situation where, like you said, the product of the race that we were in, the circumstances that were created, and you race an entire season, you see the same guys week after week. If you're finding yourself racing next to your teammate every single race, it's bound to happen. And it sounds to me like Lucas is a little younger and newer to the service as well. So there's maybe some etiquette things or maybe some decisions that he'll learn from this, and we can go into next week. He'll have regardless of what's on the side of his truck, it's going to be one of those learning curves. He's just going to have to use this as a moment to think, well, next time he's in that situation, what can I do differently? And, I can't speak for Cofield and those guys. I'm sure that, it'll work itself out. I hope they're joking because, I've talked to those guys before. They seem like a great group, and I think that it'll work itself out in the end.
Well, and in sim racing, we're all competitive, and that's what iRacing does. I mean, people talk about, well, it ain't like real life. Well, of course, it's not like real life. And I don't think of iRacing as a racing simulator. It's a competition simulator. You know, it is to get that little competition side of you where you're competing with other folks, racing hard. You know, and the racing is real as I think you could probably get. But it's still far away from the real thing. And at the end of the day, we're sitting in computer chairs with steering wheels and computers racing and hoping for the best. And, you know, none of us are professionals, at least not in this league. And even we see the professionals get out here on sim racing and just act the fool and not be able to keep their trucks straight. And here, I don't think this was Lucas really doing anything wrong other than going for the win and just made a mistake. And I think we ought to be able to make mistakes. You know, and I think that, you know, that happens. I mean, you're going to drive down the corner, you're going to make the wrong call, and it's going to take somebody out. And I think Jonathan Cofield knows that. He's made plenty of mistakes in the past, and others, you know, have done the same thing where you're taking somebody out. And I think, you know, it just depends on how that person reacts. And I think if you go back and listen to this or you talk to Lucas, you can see there's a lot of remorse there, and he just didn't mean to do that. And I think everything will be fine. Like I said, I think it's pretty clear he didn't come up here and just say, well, I don't care, I got the win. You know,
Send it.
Yeah. So I think it makes sense. You know, that hey, it was just guys racing really hard. Lucas made a mistake, and unfortunately, Cofield is one who paid for it. But I mean, all in all, a pretty wild race. I wouldn't call it a good race. I think we had
Eventful.
potential. Yeah, I mean, we had potential for really good racing. It just never really played out. But Lucas does get the win, though. It doesn't lock him into the playoffs or anything. That's one thing, Bradley, about this league, this series, is that wins don't lock you in. You got to make a certain amount of races, and you got to get there by points. So Lucas, outside the top 10, he's going to need some more of this to get it done. And unfortunately for Jonathan Cofield, he was right there in 10th place on the cutoff, and that 21st position is not going to be good for him going into this final race. So this next race is going to be wild. There's going to be a lot on the line to get this to get us into the playoffs. But let's take a look at the results. See where everybody finished. A lot of up and downs, but we'll see where everybody ended up. Lucas Lyon, Michael Kostick, Andy Kurtz, your top three. Brett Bieber quietly got a 4th place there after all the extracurricular activities, and Josh Lokovitz he was involved in every damn wreck out there. I mean, and a lot of them, yeah, I mean, none of them really his fault. He was just involved in them all and comes away with the top 5. So incredible for him. And then Garrett Kinder, same, in 6th. He was able to fight back. Aaron Adcock, we saw him involved in that melee on the last caution.
Yeah, how did he get into the top 10?
Yeah.
He was, I thought he was pronounced dead at the scene there on the backstretch.
Well, he is pronounced 7th. And 8th would be Brandon Wallace. Kenneth Pack there in 9th. And Curtis Sovereign is going to take the 10th position. Mike Veith going to come home in 11th. Charles Stevens Jr. in 12th. Jeremiah Holt in 13th. Greg Barnett in 14th. Tommy Osborne in 15th. Kyle Roberts 16th. Mickey Isaac in 17th. Stephon Davis in 18th. Tracy Passons in 19th. Gary Wright rounds out your top 20. 21st, going to be Jonathan Cofield, Tyler Rice in 22nd. Cody Bame in 23rd. 24th, Alan Nash. 25th, Chuck Phelps. 26th, Matt Clemon. And then Travis Bieber, Alex V, 27th, 28th with their connection issues. I mean, some disappointing finishes for a lot of folks. I mean, I think there'll be a lot of discussion about this race. But, I mean, if you look through the field, you know, that's 85% of the field use their fast repair. I don't know if there's too many drivers that can claim innocence. There was just a lot of hard driving and just some mistakes and things that happened. You know, when you put 28 drivers on the track and it's not perfect, sometimes it can get wild. And I think that's what happened. But otherwise, really good race. I want to thank Hardline Transport Solutions, Mike Bertosa, for sponsoring this series. And like I said, you know, Bradley, you came in and, you know, this is your first impression. But I think if anybody has been watching this series, to say that this is, you know, this is how it normally is would be completely wrong. We've had some really incredible races all season long. And, you know, every once in a while you're going to have a stinker. And And that's okay. I don't think there needs to be any, wild sweeping changes. There doesn't need to be overreaction. I think, we've already kind of broke down why it was that way. You got to move on to next week. We got a week off, for the holidays. Then we come back and race Legacy Atlanta, which will give plenty of space to these guys to go out there and race, and then go down to the end. We'll actually look at the schedule here. And a little bit different how they do playoffs here, if you're not aware. Just 2 races in one round. 2 rounds, but there's one round to get to the final 5. So we'll have 10 at the end of Atlanta. The top 10 will be locked in, and top 10 in points. No wins. The wins don't matter. And then in the playoffs, it's just whoever has the best 2 races at Rockingham and Texas. The top 5 will then go to Charlotte, and they'll race for a championship. So excited to see how that plays out. It should be a lot of fun the next 3 weeks, and we'll see who's going to come away with the championship. But what a great race. Everything kind of aside, but hey, it's just part of it. Bradley, thank you so much for coming in, helping me out. You definitely were a big help, and I think you added a lot to the broadcast, so definitely appreciate you. But here, final thoughts before we call this thing, call it quits.
Well, I'm just happy they have an off week to calm down and maybe get things situated again. I know that a lot of these drivers are probably at each other's throats. You saw the 13 and the 88 go at it, the 25 and the 58 teammates going at it. So every extreme that we could have here tonight, we saw it. We saw drivers with dominating performances. We saw drivers that came from behind and were able to get a good finish out of it. And we saw some big wrecks. So we'll have a chance to reset here before Legacy Atlanta. And I appreciate you guys having me here. And I hope to maybe have another opportunity to be here at the Rebels Truck Series. And thank you very much, guys.
Well, and I will say something before we close. Jonathan Cofield in chat says, "I don't blame Lucas. Hard racing. Love you, buddy." And that's what I'm talking about right there. That's the good stuff. As it was disappointing, but we're here to have fun, have a good thing, a good time. And look, Jonathan Cofield showing how much of a class act he can be, and giving Lucas a little bit of love there in chat. So good news there. And we'll move on to next week. We'll be off next week, and then we'll come back for Legacy Atlanta, and then we're going to race for a championship in the next month or so. So come on back. Thank y'all for watching Beat Speed Racing Network. I want to thank all of our sponsors: Hardline Transport Solutions, Flexible Freight Solutions for the Post Race Show, Chuck Pegleg Felts for the Pole Award, Andy Kurtz for the Hard Luck Award, and then Matt Clement for the No Neck Fast Spare Hard Charger Award. Y'all have a great night. We'll see you next time. Y'all be good.